Next we're away to Johnshaven, Gourdon and Catterline. The three of them are couthy places by the sea, although nae as active as they used to be. Farewell to Catterline is a tune that takes us Doon the Coast.